Welcome back to another episode of Area 69 After Dark. Oh my goodness, you guys, I cannot believe it's already fucking Sunday. Once again, like, girl, how does the week go by that fucking fast? Like, I don't know if it just goes by fast for me because I'm excited for a new episode every Sunday, but if it goes by fast for you guys as well, please let me know. Or if it just goes by fast because you guys are looking forward to another episode as well, let me know. Alrighty, so y'all already know tonight is going to be another iconic episode because tonight we actually have a very special guest. This person is actually one of my best friends and he is also my best friend's man. So, in case you guys haven't guessed already, tonight's special guest is Call Me Danny. Alrighty, you guys, so here we have Call Me Danny.
Hi!
Oh
hello, friend. I was acting like we didn't just see each other like 7 days ago. Oh, no, yesterday. Yesterday. Not me forgetting.
Are you excited to be on tonight, dude?
I am super excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but it's because I have like a little bit of an edible on me.
He took an edible before he got here.
But I think it's just to let all the nerves kind of like go through and everything because I don't know, it's just not being on my own podcast and then being like on your podcast. It's always so different because you never know.
Well, it's a whole different vibe.
Yes, it's a whole vibe and you just don't know what like the
environment's gonna be, the vibe's gonna be. I get it.
Sorry,
dude.
I get it like so into my head. Sometimes que se me olvida what I'm gonna say.
I'm dead. But the good thing is that it's here downstairs. You guys are used to being in my downstairs, my office and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm super excited, dude. And I know, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of want to ask you more things that I don't necessarily know about you tonight. So hopefully you're open to that.
Dude, I'm not, open as my legs are open.
Oh, okay. I'm like, well, they're not open at all.
Honestly, honestly, like, I'm just so excited because like there's things that I have never told anybody. Yeah. And that it's just kind of like I haven't even told like my therapist like these type of things, and it's just stuff that I'm ready to kind of like move forward from. Yeah. So I'm just super excited to be here and even just talk to you because like you are my friend in real life. So at the end of the day, it's just more like I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me, and it's like we're always getting to know each other every single day. There's always something new that we get to learn, like from you, music, or like from just I don't know, art, everything. Yeah. Everything always changes,
which is kind of crazy to think though, because we've been friends for like years, bitch. Years.
Well, I was telling Alan, I was like, I can't believe that I've had a friendship that has lasted longer than 5 years.
That's pretty insane, especially at this age.
Yes, because you're one of them, and then also Irma. Like, you guys are two of the only people that literally I grew up with. Well, we all grew up together. Yeah, like, dude. We all learned how to pay bills. Yeah. We all learned how to move out. Yes, how to move out. And we were all doing it by ourselves. Like, our parents were helping us out here and there, but at the end of the day, we were still learning how to do things ourselves because we teníamos vergüenza to ask our parents, you know what I mean?
If I'm being honest, my mom never even really she talked to me about like paying bills and stuff, but she never like told me the process or anything. Yeah, no,
my mom either. I didn't even know about.
Because she would call to pay bills. Yeah, and she still does.
Well, my mom would actually go to the places.
Oh, fuck that.
So then I would be like, oh my god, do I have to go to these places? So the first time I had to like take a whole day off of work just to go to the place, and you can do it online.
And you're like, Mom, why didn't you tell me this,
Mom,
girl?
why did you tell me this? But to each his own. At least I get to learn. At least I got to learn it by myself. So now I know exactly what to do. And I didn't have to ask anybody for help.
I think that's the best way to learn it. Mm-hmm. You might learn the hard way and get past due bills. But it's okay, girl. You got to live and learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you guys, to loosen the goose a little bit, I did bring some drinks. Now, these drinks, I have tried them maybe like once or twice. And once I tried them, dude, I told you needed to try them.
Yes.
And dude, they're hella strong. I'm going to tell you, these are stronger than Buzzballs. They are 27.5% per volume. Y están chiquitas.
Oh, shit, really?
Yes, dude, they're hella small.
I think they're smaller than Buzzballs too, no?
I think they are. Okay, let's take a look. So they are new flavors. I am going to try a new flavor because I don't know. I just wanted to try a new flavor. So the first one that Anna and me have tried was the margarita ones. Look at these.
It's just like a lemon margarita.
Yeah, lemon margarita. 27.5% alcohol per volume. And
girl, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And if you guys can see, this is literally like tinier.
I think it is like, well, I think it might be around the same size.
This is like what you would get in like a mini like like those mini little ball thingies.
Oh, like the surprise eggs?
Yeah, the
or the
little
surprise.
mini surprise
Yeah, I
but
know.
these are for adults.
No, they should make like an alcoholic version of
I
those.
know, huh?
They probably do already have one, no?
No, I don't think so because it's for kids.
Like
no?
this one?
No,
No?
no, I think these are just like generic. Wait.
Oh.
Oh, that says Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe they do.
Who knows, girl?
But I ended up also getting a Cosmopolitan, which is a vodka, real lime juice, 100% real cranberry juice, and orange juice, which I'm actually going to try this one. And then since I know my friend likes whiskey, because she likes to get frisky.
Yeah, I love whiskey.
This one's straight bourbon whiskey, blend of 3 bitters, cane simple
that
syrup,
mean?
and orange zest oil.
Okay, so it's like a orangey.
I wish they had
drink,
like a Coke with whiskey.
Oh,
Like combined.
yeah, that would be
you know what I mean?
cute.
That would be so cute. But this one's for Joe, and then this one's for me, and then this one's for later.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the new
new
flavors.
ones. Yeah. Okay. Ooh.
Oh, girl, she like squirted a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, do you see the
Girl,
smoke?
that's
You
literally
saw the
like
smoke
death coming
coming
out
out?
like that.
Oh, girl.
It's strong. Smell mine.
Smell mine?
Okay, bottoms up.
Bitch, Danny, for real? You like whiskey? You don't?
That's super strong of whiskey.
Is it the same percentage? No, bitch, this one's 37. Wow, how much is theirs?
27%. Okay, I got saved.
Girl.
Okay, batty, shot o'clock. Cheers.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
Oh my god, mine is so cute. Mine's very demure, very kind, very mindful that I didn't want to get drunk.
Like, no, bitch, you can like instantly smell it in my breath. Can you smell it?
Do it again. Oh yeah, right away.
I can
right away. I know you're
feel
drunk.
the heat. No, dude, I swear to God.
Yeah, me too a little bit.
I can feel the heat.
Here, try
like,
mine,
in my stomach.
and I'll try yours. I don't like whiskey.
Don't
but...
take a big sip. It's
Okay.
nasty. Like it's good, but like you don't like whiskey.
Fuck. Oh, that gave me chills.
This one's good. I'm not a big vodka girl, but this
But this
one,
one's
dude.
good. This one's for like the cute girl summer days.
Yeah, very much.
That one's very much like, Senor, I'm about to go work in my garage vibes.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, dude.
Okay, well, this is for this week's episode because, girl, it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a crazy one. I hope you're ready for the questions that
I
I'm gonna
am low
ask
key.
you.
I'm super
And
excited.
also, I do want to go ahead and throw this out there. If there's anything that I ask you that you do not wish to answer, you most definitely can be like, Annette, shut the fuck up and move on. Okay?
Like, oh, I'm just kidding. Why'd you ask me that? Just kidding.
Like I was saying earlier, obviously I've been knowing you for such a long time, but I feel like I genuinely feel like there's a lot about you that I don't necessarily fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never like went out of my way to ask you these things because like, well, why the fuck am I gonna you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, and I think it's like stuff that's also very like not a friendly conversation
Yes,
to have like with a friend every
right.
single day. It's only times where I feel like, oh shit, like this is hurting me right now.
Yes,
so it's in the
yes.
moment on the hablo de eso, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, friend, this happened to me 20,000 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then whenever we kick it, it's always like kind of like chill vibes, either like a smoky vibe or like a drinking night type of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I've never like went out of my way to be like, all right, Danny, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk real
And
shit
we're gonna have
right
a
now.
therapy session right now.
But you know, with that being said, I'm more than sure that there's your viewers, Alan's viewers, my viewers that obviously know you because they see you on our shit, they see you on your podcast and stuff. But I'm more than sure that there's a lot of alien babies that are interested in knowing more about you as well, because there's more to the picture.
Yeah, there is.
Girl.
There is a lot. I'm just so like. It's so crazy to think about like that we all kind of have like stories
Backstories,
that
yeah.
we don't know. Like a person could be walking down the street
Right.
and you don't know what that person has gone through. Everyone really much just has a story to tell.
Well, dude, when I watched Miss Munchie's episode on Alan's podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, dude, who would have ever thought?
Yeah, like
And she's such like a kind girl,
yeah,
dude.
she seems so sweet and uplifting that
Yeah,
it just makes
very
it seem
very happy.
not real that really did
Yeah,
happen. You know
dude,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's crazy to think that human being can go through so much. You know what I mean?
So obviously, I know that your mom was a single mom while you were growing up as a kid. And dude, sometimes I kind of forget that because I've never met her when she was in her single mom era. Obviously, I didn't even know you at that time. But thinking about that, I'm like, dude, how do single moms do it? Dude, I'm sure it must be so fucking hard.
Sometimes I don't even think, sometimes I can't even process to think how my mom actually did it. When I was younger, my mom literally was by herself. She came to the United States and wanted to be here with my dad and, you know, live the American dream with my dad.
Right.
But unfortunately, things didn't go that way. So my mom separated from my dad, and my mom was single for a very, very long time.
How old were you when they separated?
I believe I was like 5 years old.
Okay, so it was just you. Ashley wasn't.
No, Ashley was already like 2 years old.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. So Ashley was really young, so she doesn't really remember so much about that.
Right.
But I feel like when that happens, you just don't believe it because you see your parents so happy and you don't see them fight like crazy. But I know for a fact that they had their private fights where they were yelling at each other. When I was in school, they probably were like blaming each other or X, Y, and Z reasons they were doing everything behind our backs, which was good. They never really showed that they were having problems.
Yeah.
So when I started noticing the problems getting more serious was because they were just kind of tired of each other. Yeah. And they were like, I don't care who sees, I'm fucking done.
Right.
So I remember literally the exact day that my dad left. Like, I kind of just remember him having his bags and just leaving the door. And I'm just kind of like, oh, Mom, where's my dad going? And like, the fuck? Like, then he's gone, and like, you don't know what's gonna happen because your mom's like, everything's gonna be okay, but then your dad doesn't talk to you, so who do you blame? Yourself.
So your dad didn't tell you nothing?
No.
He literally just walked out the door.
Everything was just kind of like, well, let the kids see and everything will be okay. Like, nothing was very much explained to me. Like, I wish I had my mom that was like, mira, mijo, like, me and your dad, we don't really love each other. We're just not meant for each other. That doesn't mean that I won't find somebody else that I can love, or that he can't find somebody else to love, or that doesn't mean that we don't love you.
Right.
It's just we are just not compatible for each other, you know? And I've always been such a big person on communication. Like, don't lie to me. Just tell me straight up, because at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt. If you lie to me, it's gonna hurt. If you tell me the truth, it's gonna hurt. If you just don't tell me anything at all, it's gonna hurt even worse, because now in my mind, I'm overthinking what happened, why did it happen, and is it my fault or whose fault is it?
Right.
So growing up, my mom was really good at giving us what we needed to survive. My mom always wanted a better life for all of us.
Right.
She always wanted to have her own house. She always wanted to have her own car. She always wanted to make sure she had her own job. And she always wanted to do everything by herself because she wanted to grow as a person. Even though she didn't have her papers, even though she didn't have her family here, even though she didn't have her, not me being drunk.
Wait. I wanted to add to like your mom's defense or whatever. Maybe she didn't like tell you directly because one, maybe she thought you were too young to understand that, and two, maybe, I mean, I'm sure she was hurt. You know what I mean?
And I also think about it. It's like she was young as well,
right?
So like I always think about it. It's like, oh my god, like what was my biggest heartbreak? I was like 15. So like imagine it. My mom, she's a young female coming to this, with kids, not even knowing how to raise kids.
Yeah.
Having to separate from my dad. Of course it was difficult.
Maybe también she kind of felt like by making it known to you, it kind of put her in a position where she was like, all right, this is just me like giving up at this point. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
and
maybe
I feel like
she
my
did
mom,
it to be stronger.
And also my mom was just like, I don't want my kids to see this.
Right.
I how is it that I'm all about wanting my kids to be happy and wanting everything to be happy when my relationship isn't happy?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just so, oh my God, girl. Sorry, dude.
You're fine.
So I give my mom the benefit of the doubt that, like, you know, she was young. She didn't know how to explain it to even herself what was going on. Right. So I wouldn't expect her to explain it to her. But, you know, that's like going forward to like the parents out there that are going through like a divorce or something like that. Like, have communication with your kids, because at the end of the day, van a aprender. And at the end of the day, they're gonna make up their own like like a
storyline.
story
Yeah.
of why it happened. And at the end of the
Right.
day, kids will blame themselves, just like how I blame myself.
Right.
I thought that I was the reason that my parents separated, like that I was too much, or that we just weren't the perfect family and it was because of me, or X, Y, and Z reason. So, but I feel like after that, it was really much like a new start for my mom. Like, I think that was the best choice that my mom could have made, because my mom has always wanted to move forward in life and be something of herself. Like, she didn't let not having papers like stop her. She didn't let
It was her motivation. If
it was her
anything.
motivation.
Yeah.
She even was like, "Oh, well, I need to get a job. I need to learn English. I need to go to school. I might have 2 kids and I still have to go to work, but I need to do this to better it from not just for myself, but for my kids."
Yeah,
And
for sure.
she always did the best that she could to give us everything that we wanted. And I can't complain to my mom for not giving me what I wanted, because sometimes I'm like, damn, I really was such a harsh kid with wanting stuff, because I also was a kid. I didn't know what money value was.
Right,
I didn't
yeah.
know what hard work
No
was,
kid does.
I understand why it was always like a no, and like why I couldn't have things and why I couldn't get the things that I wanted. And it's because my mom really did have to break her back just to pay a bill, or
Just to
even
get
just
food on the table.
yeah, just
Yeah.
to put food on the table, or even just to put me through therapy,
Yeah.
or whatever
You were
it was.
in therapy as a kid? Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Because of that stuff?
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that I went through therapy because of all of that. Like, I never thought that my parents' breakup was gonna affect me that bad growing up, because you see your mom.
Of course it would, dude.
But you see your mom like be alone for almost 10 years of her life.
Right.
And you're kind of like, what else can happen? Like, and there's nothing else that can happen. You know what I mean?
What, to like make the situation worse, or
Or to even make it better.
Right.
Like, you can't help your mom not be single. You can't help
Right.
your dad and your mom to get back together. Like, you just can't. Like, it was just a difficult time to understand. You know what I mean?
So since you did start therapy at like a super young age, would you say that you were depressed?
I think I was fully depressed. I feel like the first time where I realized that I was depressed was when my mom and my dad tried to get back together, and then my dad ended up fucking up by cheating on my mom. So the way that it all happened was my mom and my dad were, I guess, trying to get back together. And my dad would come around very often to the house, and my mom would make him food, and there would actually be some times where I would be in the living room and I would literally see my mom and my dad run to the bedroom. So like, I knew like that my dad and my mom were trying to get back together, but at that moment you're just kind of like, oh my god, I'm so excited.
Dude.
Like you're just uplifted, and then you just kind of see, like, when your dad gets home, you're like, oh my god, dad, like you're home, and he's all carrying me, and it's like a big happy family vibes. And
So
like,
he was still like acting like nothing had happened.
no, well, this was like years later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This
Okay.
was like years later. When like I just feel like that's when like they were both trying to figure their things out.
Okay.
And I guess there was a moment when they were like, okay, well, we're good. We're chilling.
Right, yeah.
And then after that, I guess the communication was great, and they were like, "Oh well, I miss you." I
Right,
miss you
yeah,
too."
yeah.
And they try to fix things. So I remember vividly, it was like my 10th birthday, I believe, and I was getting like surrounded by like my sister and my mom and my dad, and they were all singing "Happy Birthday" to me.
Oh.
And every single year for my birthday, up until that last birthday, I had always wished for my parents to get back together. I guess my mom had found out that my dad was sleeping with one of her friends.
Oh, shut up.
Dude. And I just found out not too long ago about this. And
Let's go fight her.
yeah, literally. And my mom at the time let her live downstairs in our apartment.
Shut up.
So yeah, dude, it was all happening
So it
in my
happened
house.
in your guys' household.
Yeah, literally. So once I realized that my dad did that, like, I was just kind of like, you really don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, you don't care for me. You don't care for my mom. You don't care for my sister. You didn't even have hope for our family to try to get back together. So, right as everything was like happening, like, that's when I finally was like, well,
You kind of just
I just
lost
kind
the.
of, that's when my favorite color, blue, turned to black.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
Okay.
that's when I started to realize that I was like, fuck, like, my dad really is a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
and like, I can't believe that all of this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? And what did I do? Was I not a good enough son? Did I not give him enough space? Did I not try to get them back together as much? Why didn't it? Like, it was always just more a blame of me. Like, even
You felt like you were responsible for getting them back together?
I feel like I feel like I got my hopes too high.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I once that limit of like, oh, you know, when you feel like that you're so high and you're like, oh my God, I'm on cloud 9, like, I feel so good.
Yeah.
And then that fucking cloud just disappears.
Yeah.
It's like,
But if I'm being honest though, like to your defense, I don't feel like your hopes were too high. I think his intentions were just bad from the start.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they were working on things again.
Yeah,
and then
they were, and
he cheated on her.
And I don't know what really went. Like, I don't know exactly what really went on between like my mom and my dad after that. All I really remember was that one time he came back to the house, and I guess at the time my mom had an ex-boyfriend, and he had bought me and my sister presents for our birthdays that he missed, and they were bomb ass presents.
Okay, period. I love that.
I guess my dad came to come pick us up, or I don't really remember that part, but all I really remember was
He just got
screaming and me and my mom running to the room and like holding the door as my dad was like screaming and banging and like the door, and my sister's crying, and my mom's like, call the police. And I was like, I was so in shock because I just didn't know what to do. Like, you just don't know what to do, because it's like, why would this person that you love and you admire so much,
well, your dad,
do this to you? You know, like, maybe he was jealous, or maybe whatever it was, but like, I don't think that's right for you to do that. You know what I mean?
Of course not. Especially when you fucked up.
Yeah,
you know?
And I'm like, what? I still to this day don't even understand why that all happened. Sometimes I'm like, damn, like, did you really put me through this, girl? Like, did you really just do this? Like, and now that I'm an adult, I always think about it. If I have kids, my temper's fucking last, girl. Like, I cannot do that to my children. Like, I have to have so much patience for my kids, because they're learning just as much as I'm learning, and they're
like sponges, fault. Dude. Yeah. They soak everything
up, and everything is your fault.
Yeah,
everything is your fault. If you fuck up, it's your fault. So that's why I'm like, why would you have done this, being aware that you have 2 children literally behind a door, scared, terrified, not knowing what to do, and not knowing what's gonna happen next.
Yeah,
you know. So it was just a crazy moment in my life that after that, like, my mom went to court, and like, it was just an up and going battle. And
like for custody, or
like for custody, and like for
order.
Also trying to get like a restraining order and stuff like that. And since, you know, like, while all of that was happening, my mom really didn't trust a lot of people. So what was my mom gonna do? I was her first son. She was young as fuck. She told me everything. So she would be like, your dad this, your dad that, your dad fucking did this, like, and she would cry to me, and like, you know, I don't blame her for that. It's okay. Like, I understand why you did it. You're heartbroken. Who else are you gonna go to? Like, and I'm there for you, and I'm okay with that. But it's just, I wish I didn't hear that. Because I
feel like when you're that young, dude, like, your brain doesn't even understand stuff like that. It could be so overwhelming.
Well, if you really think about it, a child's emotion is only happiness, sadness.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the only thing that they go to. And when they're sad, they're super sad. When they're angry, they're furious. So then during those years, my mom kept like telling me like these little side comments
Yeah.
about my dad and stuff like that. And I just started growing this hatred towards him, like
Yeah.
super hatred.
Mm-hmm.
And she would start telling me these things that I would notice in when I would go to my dad's house, or like, oh yeah, he is like that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like he is like that. And I remember one day vividly where for the first time he laid his hands on me and my sister, and I was like, oh fuck no. I was like, that's the last time you put your hands on me. After that, I just started going numb. Like I I just remember staying at my grandma's house, and my uncles and everyone would work in construction. So there would be like loose like razors around, and I would literally like just like grab like a they would have like packs, so they were new.
Like the blades for like work and
Yeah,
stuff.
for like
Yeah.
the like for cutting boxes.
Yeah.
So they were freshly brand new, and I would always look at them, and I literally just grabbed one, and for curiosity, I don't even know what was going on through my head. Like you just feel that moment of numbness, and you're like, I just want this all to all stop, and just let this all of my hate, let this all my sadness just go away. Like, and I just cut myself, and I just remember not feeling anything, and I'm just like, well, what else is there to life?
Right. Right.
What else can I do to take this pain away? So I just continued cutting myself, and it just kept going on for months. Like I would do it on my wrist, I would do it on my stomach, I would do it on my legs, and then there would be a time where people started to be concerned on my arms. So then I would like always wear sweaters even in heat time.
Yeah.
And I would let them like get better, and then I would just start cutting like my leg and then my stomach, and like
But no one ever really like knew.
but no one really knew until I got caught in school.
Oh, you got caught at school.
They were, I don't know if you know how like I know that this happened in my school, so I don't know if in other schools that they did this,
Right.
but like they would do like a weekly cubby checkup, and they would check like the cubbies to make sure
You
like
had the blade.
yeah, and I had a blade in my thingy, because sometimes when I would get like mad about certain things, like at the moment, or like when I would wake up and like things happen that I would hear about from my family or whatever it was, like I would literally just go to school and like put it, because if I put it at my house, like in my room or anything, like
Your
my
mom
mom
will
cleans
find
my
it,
room,
yeah,
my mom's
yeah.
gonna find it. And then they had to call the principal, and then they called my mom, and they called the therapist.
They called the cops too?
Yeah, they called everyone because they didn't think I was like in good like shape.
Oh, like living situations?
Like they just didn't know what the razor was for, so
Right.
like that's the first thing that they do, you know.
Right.
So then my mom comes up, and then yeah, after that everything's just kind of a blur. Like what happened there? Like I just remember my mom vividly telling me like, why are you doing this? Like I don't love you enough. Like I don't give you enough.
Right.
Like what do you need? Like I'm giving you everything. Like what do you need from me? Like what can
Yeah.
I give you to make you like happier? Like do you need this? I'll work another job. Do you need this? I'll do this. Like ¿qué es lo que quiere mi niño? Like I just remember that vividly. Like, and I literally I said I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So you never really like gave her like an explanation.
No, and she just was like very vigilant on me, and I just started being a little bit more um like
Rebellious?
yeah,
Or
and,
more like careful about
no,
what
like
you...
just more of a bitch to her. I didn't give a fuck what she said. I didn't care if I didn't do it like this. Like I was just so irritable. Like things would irritate me so bad that there was finally a point in my life where I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm done. Like I don't want to be here anymore. Like and I would continuously keep saying that for days. And I remember vividly the day that I said that I would do it was I was in the restroom, and I said, "Are you done?" And I literally looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, "I'm done." And then I literally was just like I just started crying and I just started going crazy and I just couldn't. And then my mom was just trying to calm me down and then I just grabbed like honestly I just grabbed like the nearest thing and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. And she's like, Danny, no lo hagas, no lo vas a hacer, no lo vas a hacer. And then she's like, I'm gonna call the police. And I was like, do it, do it, do it. And went inside the closet. And then that's when everything kind of just started coming to like a realization of what I was really doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that I had like a pencil on me and like it was very
So you
sharp.
literally like blacked out.
Yeah,
Shit.
blacked out and it
Yeah.
was sharp next to my veins. And like I kept telling my mom like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And she just didn't cry. She was just
I
kind of
think
like,
she was trying to compose herself.
yeah, I
for
think
you.
she was just like, no seas así, no lo vas a hacer, like, get out, like,
Oh, okay.
todo va a
But
estar
do you feel like
bien,
that kind of provoked you more?
No, I just feel like that blocked me out even more. Like, that literally blacked me out.
So like it pushed you more to like do
No,
it.
no, like, you're just kind of like this.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally just like this.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be talking to me, and all I hear is like a zzz. Like,
That's
because
crazy,
I
dude.
feel like it's much better when you're in a very, like, I feel like she did a really good job at taking control of the situation instead of
Panicking.
crying,
Yeah,
panicking,
yeah.
yelling, because I feel like that would have gotten me more overwhelmed and maybe I would have done it.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what happened next, but I just kind of remember the cops coming and them being like, can I have the pencil? And I was like, no. He's like, give me the pencil. And I was like, no. And then he's just snatched it from me. And then after that, I just felt so stupid. Like, I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I thought I was done. Like my mom doesn't really love me. She doesn't even think that I can do this. Like, she, like, why even be here? Like, there's no, like, I don't even want to be here next to her. Like, why would, like, at that moment, you're like, why would she call the cops?
Right.
Like, you could have just dealt with this yourself. Like, why couldn't you just tell me, like, you love me or hug me or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of like, I felt so stupid at that moment. So then I ended up just calling my dad and I wanted to run away with my dad for some reason. Cause I feel like he wouldn't have, like, he just wouldn't have cared. Like, he just wouldn't care.
Right.
Like if I would have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself." Oh, okay.
But that's not even a good thing.
No, but like it
Yeah.
was just,
But he
you
wouldn't
just
have
didn't want to
put
hear
that
it.
pressure on
Yes,
you,
like
yeah.
you didn't want to hear that something's wrong with you.
Right,
Like
yeah.
I didn't want my mom to be like, "Oh, because you want to kill yourself, you have to go to therapy."
Right.
Or because you're not you just don't want to hear it.
Right.
And especially because I lived with my mom full time, you just don't know how to recover from that.
Yeah.
So like when I went to my dad's house and I ran away with him, I stayed with him for 2 weeks. And that was like the worst mistake of my life because that's when I finally realized how much my mom really did love me. Like it was just
It was like night and day, huh?
Yeah, like my dad had good intentions. I can't tell you that. When my dad had told me that he would pick me up, he was like, "It's okay, like I'll go rent out another place and we'll get you a room and we'll get you a bed and like don't worry about it, like come and tomorrow we'll go shopping and like we'll do this." And you get painted a pretty picture and then you get there and it's like a
Nothing
crowded
happens.
home and like
Oh,
a
shit.
dysfunctional home. Everyone's
Yeah.
like in their own little thing. Everyone has their own problems, and then my dad has his own problems. So I'm neglected, and then when my dad has another side of the family, so like his wife has other kids. So like when they would like be in their own like little thing, I always felt neglected because they never really like included me in things other than things that would like be like to make fun of me or make me feel uncomfortable or like
okay.
stuff like
Just be
that.
bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I realized it the night that I snuck out of my dad's house to go with my boyfriend at the time, and I came back like at 3 a.m. and I was walking around the area and I never really realized like how dangerous it was in his area.
Oh fuck.
So like as I was like walking home, like you can see like a lot of like gangster people and like cholitos
Oh
and
hell no, bitch.
like you can see like people doing literal like
Like
stuff
drugs.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I called my dad and I called him like 3 or 4 or 5 times to open like the gate. There
Mm-hmm.
was a gated community that they lived in. So
Mm-hmm.
not even my front door, not even the front door, dude.
So you were
Like
literally just waiting like two
outside the
miles away
gate.
from your actual house.
Yes. So like I was like, oh my God, like I'm literally gonna sleep outside. So me being all like 11 or 12 outside, just like kicking it outside with,
Bitch, 11 or 12?
yeah, it's all 3 a.m. So like, and my dad's not picking up. So that's when I finally realized, like, I'm like, fuck, I, I really took my mom for granted.
Yeah.
And like I don't necessarily now I think about it as like God really did want me to go through all of that for me to appreciate my mom. Like, and it really was that. My mom really did do so much, and I just needed something like this to
Like
happen
a
to
wake up call.
realize
Mm-hmm.
what my mom has done for me and what
Yeah.
I really did take for granted.
Right.
And the kicking point of that was when I went back the first time
Mm-hmm.
to go like pack my things,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom was literally like
Like pack your things
crying.
to go to your dad's
Yeah.
house? Oh.
Well, like that's when I started to start feeling bad, but that's not my like my realization
Hi,
vibes.
bitch. So you kept on going?
Dude, like, yeah, dude, isn't that crazy? Like, I'm such a mamon like that. Like, I don't, like, I know that I hurt you vibes, but, like,
I'm gonna hurt you more.
no, like, I'm gonna keep going with my
Yeah.
hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've always been like, it can't be that bad until it's worse.
But I
You know
do
what I
think
mean?
that you tended to do that because of your depression.
Yeah, I feel like I just had a lot going on at
Because
that moment. Like
sometimes,
I feel like I was getting pulled in different directions. It's like, where do you go? My dad's over here supporting me, and then
right.
my mom's over here like not. And then you start going to your dad, and then he's like starting to support you, but then he doesn't support you.
Right, yeah.
And then you go back, and then it's fully support. So it was just so much mental work at the moment because you just don't know where to go. Like you have two parents, and they're like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and it's like you start as a kid. It's like you believe it, like yeah, they do love me and like they'll both support me, but at the end of the day it really wasn't like that. It was always just one that supported me. I remember that time when I was packing up my stuff, like my mom was like hella crying, and my stepdad just goes up to me and he goes, you know how sad you make your mom. She's like, you know how much she loves you. And I was like, yeah. She goes, you're breaking her heart right now. And I was like, yeah. And I just
And you
left.
still left?
Yeah.
Hi, Danny.
I feel bad, but my mom knows I love her now. I cherish her with all
I
my
mean,
heart,
and you've
I'll
always
totally be
loved
her
her.
mom.
You've
Yeah.
always loved her.
Yeah,
you know?
I just feel like, it's just, it was just a confusing time at the moment with my mom. And, like, I just wish, I now understand my mom and I value her for the woman that she is because she's come a long way. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
like, it's crazy how much things have gone like in our life, just me and my mom alone, because we just her and me alone just have been through a lot. Like
Yeah.
she was growing up as I was growing up, so it's just crazy to me.
And I've actually never heard that story from you, so I'm kind of like in shock a little bit. Like I don't even really know what to say because I've never been through that. I've never experienced anything like that, especially like with my parents. Like they've never been divorced or anything like that. But obviously I'm thankful that nothing happened and you didn't follow through with, your incident where you wanted to take your life.
Yeah.
God for sure was by your side
No,
and your
yeah, for
mom.
sure.
But and not to say that you were meant to go through these things because that kind of sounds like a bitch thing to
No,
say.
but I feel like everyone goes through
But I
different
feel
things
like it molded
to
you
yeah.
into the person that you are today.
I really do now appreciate life. Like the other day I was finally like wanting to do therapy again, and I was like, you know what, like I just want to take my mental health back because I just want to be a happy person. And then I started realizing like, wow, like I'm even lucky enough to just be a human. Like, you know how
Yeah.
rare it is to be a human? Like, I could be a caterpillar. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
not
like I
even
could
just
die.
that. Not even just that, but you could have cancer. You can, be on your deathbed. Like,
Yeah.
dude, a lot of people are going through shit, and sometimes like again, not to like degrade your feelings or anything like that, but I feel like there's always a brighter picture that sometimes it's just hard for us to see when we're clouded.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and I feel like that like you said earlier, like that's what I needed to go through in order for me to realize.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't able to say a long, not even a long time ago, a few even years ago, to be like sitting down here and be like, you know what? I don't want to kill myself. Like
Yeah.
I'm so blessed and I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that my mindset is not there anymore. Like if something's rough is going on in my life, like I never have those negative thoughts anymore. Like
That's
all I
good.
think about is like, okay, this happens for a reason. Why did it happen? All right, cry it out. All right, it's fine.
I'm probably gonna be a better bitch
Yeah,
after
like
this. Yeah.
yeah, like what? I'm not dying. I have my health.
Yeah.
I'm able to wake up in the morning, go to sleep, say good
Yeah.
morning to my dogs, like, you know. So I just don't take things a little too much for granted, and I apologize, and I mature and I grow from all the mistakes that I have made, because I just, like I said, I just wanted to be a better person. I just don't want my trauma to be my excuse to treat others a different way, because I went through a certain, you know, trauma and a life, and a not a bad life, but you know, through
Well,
bad events.
difficult.
Yeah,
I mean, dude,
difficult.
as an adolescent, your brain, dude, cannot process stuff like that at all. Dude, why do you think there's like so many like murderers now? So many fucking just criminals and shit. It's all people that have trauma in their past life.
Yeah, and people that just don't know that mental health is real. Like,
Mental health is real, bitch.
yeah, it's crazy because people don't want to accept it, but sometimes you kind of just have to.
You have
'Cause
to.
if
And
you
it's not a
don't-
bad thing.
No, it's not.
No,
And
it's a bad
easy.
thing if you don't acknowledge it.
I feel like
you know?
when you say it, I have said that it's hard. It's the steps to say it is hard, but right when you start making the first steps to being like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then you start getting in uncomfortable positions, you're just kind of like, fuck it, I'm gonna say, and then you say it, and then after that, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah. But I think like a
like I'm
major
taking my life back,
right.
You know,
But I think a major step that you have to take to be able to even get to that point is maturing, dude.
Yeah.
Maturing and just kind of owning up to yourself, you know?
And owning up
that's
to your
that's a
mistakes.
really hard thing for a
Yeah.
lot of people to do.
Yeah, because a lot of people can't even own up to their mistakes.
Yeah.
A lot of people would rather lie and manipulate
Yep.
and
And continue
around
that cycle.
And continue that cycle. And continue lying and be
Yeah,
manipulative
yeah.
liars.
Yeah.
Ah?
No, 1,000%,
No, dude,
dude.
it is.
Yeah.
You know what? I was going to tell you. I was like, that's why I always tell you, like, what about, like, your baby. Like, I'm like, be careful when he's a teenager.
Oh, no, dude, of
because that's so
course.
scary,
Of
dude.
course.
And, like, I feel like it's, like, so, like, because you're a parent, you don't know what you're doing. You
No.
don't know
No.
what can affect them and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, kids really do, like you said, they soak everything up.
Everything,
Like,
everything.
every single little thing. And like, the rebellious phase is real. Even when you have a really good
Well, it's
state
a
with
part
your
of growing
kids,
up, dude.
yeah.
It's a part of growing up.
So I'm like,
And some
girl,
kids are more wild than others,
I
you
wish my
know?
mom put me in jail so I can learn stuff.
She all chains you up to the closet.
I'm like, oh, I'm all going to Beyond Scared Straight. I'm on the TV show.
Mood, I should send Emmy there, huh?
Yeah. You're like, you want to do something bad? Let me show you what's
Is
bad.
that the Joe one?
Yeah, the
Oh,
jail
okay,
one where they
yeah,
take the kids to
yeah,
jail. Dude, that was too scary for me. That's how I know. The other day we were watching Blood In, Blood Out. For the first time, I've never watched it.
I've never seen it
Oh,
either.
dude, and they were showing like clips of like prison and stuff like that.
And you're like,
And
I'm scared.
I was like, babe, I never want to go
Yeah,
to jail.
fuck
I
that.
was like, oh hell no. I was like, just for me to get a Twinkie, I gotta take it up the bucket 3 times. I don't
Maybe
think
20
so.
times.
Oh, hell no. I'm good for 3.
Bitch, I hate you.
Okay, we decided to drink more.
To lighten up the mood a little bit.
Yeah, because low-key, that trauma dump was really more of a shitty
That was
jump.
intense.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes I can write a whole ass book. But
You should.
Dude,
You actually should.
should I pay someone to write me a book?
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty
That'd
cool.
be,
I'll ask
like-
ChatGPT.
Dude, literally.
Like, write my life story.
It's all AI.
Dude.
It would literally be like a really good story, though.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, you inspired me.
You should,
Batty,
bitch.
batty, shot o'clock now.
I'm like, and I need a commission percentage off of that.
You're like approved by Annette.
Oh, okay. So we're drinking the margarita one now. Okay.
And this one's a 27.5%. This one has silver tequila, orange.
It has orange.
Orange curacao.
Curacao?
Yeah, orange curacao.
Isn't that a
100%
store?
real lime juice. Look, it's not that bad. It's my favorite one.
No, this one's the best one.
It is the best one.
The whiskey one had me like screaming for help.
I believe it.
Okay, but anyway, back to the 411. So what was it like for you officially meeting your stepdad? Because I feel like for me, I would be like if I were ever to meet like my stepmom or something, I feel like I'd fight her.
I did.
Did you like him? Was it awkward or?
Well, the first time that I actually met him.
You're all.
Dude,
Were
my
you?
mom. No, dude. This is a funny story. When my mom had introduced me to him, it was by accident.
What do you mean? How?
My
Like you
mom's
caught
a
her
girl.
up or
My
something?
mom's a fun girl. So she was going out in the clubs. She liked going out in the clubs.
okay,
Dude, and she likes
okay.
me, man, and that's okay, respectable because she was a single woman.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
And
And
my
she's
mom was
young.
bomb.
Yeah.
So like I would if I was a bomb as my mom
Yeah.
at her age, like I would
She's
be
still
doing the
really
exact same
good
thing,
looking,
.
yeah.
So when one night she went out and she came home a little,
Tipsy?
a little drunk.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of drunk.
Oh, okay.
And,
Like falling on the ground.
like she was just like slurring and like
Oh,
just
okay.
walking around
Yeah.
and when she opened the door he was there like grabbing her and
And
I
you were
was
just like waiting for her or what? Like you were just
yeah, because
awake?
I was already upset because I was like, why isn't my mom answering me? Like,
Oh.
why isn't she home already? Like, like me being like the man of the house vibes. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Like, why is my mom out? Like, why isn't she answering me? Like, why is she not home already? Because my mom would always still be respectable and be like, all right, I'll be home before midnight. You know what I mean? So, like, we were with the babysitter for like at least before midnight.
Right.
So, but since our babysitter was like right next door, we
Okay.
would literally like sleep at our house.
Right.
So when I was literally watching like the TV and she opens the door and he walks in with her and he literally just says hi and I go, what the fuck? So I literally went to my mom and I got so mad at her and she was all like drunk talking
Yeah.
to me and I was like, why would you bring him here? I'm so mad at you. Like, I can't believe you did this. Like, you should have told me that you were gonna go out late. Like, you should have been
Yeah.
home earlier. Like, I don't know why I'm up. Like, at
you
this
being a
night.
dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell me why my stepdad was all just in the living room drinking a beer,
Listening to everything?
watching my TV. Dude, oh my god, dude. I was so mad.
But like he heard you like telling your mom?
I believe
stuff?
that he was
Oh, okay.
he heard everything.
Yeah.
But like he was just like with his smirk face and he goes, Hola. I was like, oh my
Pero
god.
él
dude.
también, dude. He was
Dude,
like,
he thought he was gonna get some coochie coochie
Yeah.
that night. That's why he wanted to stay. So of course my mom kicked him out. Avi. But it was just so funny the way that I had met him because like, I never expected to meet like who was going to be my stepdad like that. I thought I was literally gonna meet him like at a dinner. or,
right. Like more formally.
yeah, more formally.
uh-huh.
But it's okay. I mean, it happened the way that it happened.
So did
and
you kind of like hate him like on the spot?
I did, low key. I hated him for a while.
I feel like that's normal though.
He kept coming around ever so often, but my mom would always be like, nah, I'm not gonna be with him. Like, nah, I'm not gonna be with him. But one thing that I can tell you is that he was a true romantic. Like, he
That's
would
good.
be really kind to my mom. He was nice to her. Like,
Was your dad like that?
no, not really. Not that
Okay.
I had saw. Like,
Right.
I don't
So maybe
really
she needed
remember.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she did. I feel like they're the yin to the yang.
Oh,
because,
okay.
my mom's not really like that lovey-dovey type, but he really is. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you need in a relationship.
balance,
Yeah, it's
for
a balance.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
he's teaching her and she's trying to learn to accept it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. My mom has really, truly never been loved other than by her kids.
Right.
Because her parents didn't live and love her. And pues tampoco
Oh, really?
her. Yeah, well, my mom's mom died when she was 33 from alcohol.
Oh, shit.
She was addicted to alcohol, and then my mom's grandma had recently passed away, but my mom was raised by her, but she
fuck.
didn't even get treated right by her either. So like my
Damn.
mom really didn't know true love, I feel like, until like my stepdad came around. And I had thought when I was younger that the feeling of love from another man was of him buying you stuff because
Mood.
my mom would always get these guys that would like to buy her things, but my
They weren't
mom would
shit.
like her kids to be complacidos. Like
Oh.
my mom would like for her kids to be happy. Like, oh, do you like this guy? You know.
Yeah.
So the man would try to buy us out.
Well, I mean, at least you guys got to like
Yeah, so
get
we got
gifts
some
and
things.
stuff.
We got
Yeah.
some things. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But you know, it was that was the type of love that I was used to. So when my
Right.
stepdad came around and when he would convince my mom not to buy me things,
You were like, what the fuck?
I was like, why are you against me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to
Like,
cash
you
out this
hate
money.
me. Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to get a new iPhone, girl. Like, you know? So I was a little annoyed because he was always contradicting me. Like,
Yeah.
why would, like, when I would buy something, she would literally now tell me, oh, I have to talk to him. Girl, you don't have to
You
talk
were
to
like, since
anybody
when,
but me.
honey?
So I just started, I feel like that's another, you know, like when I was so used to that, like I started hating that about him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, he doesn't really love me then, you know, because he won't buy me stuff.
So when did you finally like give in to him and you were like, okay, well then I think I do like you?
I feel like,
Or it was just kind of, it just happened slowly over the years.
I feel like I feel like it happened for a while. Like my mom was dating him and she moved in together and everything. And it was a really long time.
Yeah.
Until I started liking him.
You were still like,
yeah, because he would actually sometimes give Ashley a little bit more attention than me.
oh, okay.
And
But
you
maybe
know-
because she was younger.
Yeah, but like, you know, like when you see stuff like that, it's like, okay, well, you don't have your dad.
Right.
And then your mom's the only one that loves you.
Yeah.
And then now you want somebody else that loves you, but like they're not really doing.
And now you're playing that dad figure, but you're still not fulfilling like what I need.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So
Mhm.
I think my mom had gotten into a really big fight with him where they fully had broken up,
Mm-hmm.
but he had already moved in with us, so he had all his stuff there.
Oh, shit.
So my mom was kicking him out of the house, and at the time I was like,
You're like,
I
he's
was
finally
super
gone.
happy. Oh, I do it. I know it might sound bad, but it's not as the way that it seems. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had bought.
Stop. What are you going to say?
He had bought a flat screen TV that was really big.
Uh-huh.
And that was the last thing that he had left at the house.
Okay.
And he had called me and not my mom. And
To get
he
it
had
back.
told me he would come and pick it up.
Uh-huh.
But I wasn't sad because of the flat screen.
Yeah.
I was sad because
That was the last thing of him in the house.
I just feel like since I never really gave him a chance, you were kind of just like, well, did I fuck this up?
Yeah.
Like, did my mom finally was like, oh, well, my kid doesn't even like you either,
Right,
vibes. Like,
right.
I'm not, like, I don't even need to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of start realizing that, like, he really did make us a family. Like,
Right.
he did really want the best for us, even though he didn't buy me things.
Mm-hmm.
He always was there for me. And even when I wanted some advice, I would still go up to him. And even if he didn't know the question, like, he would be like, try to answer the question.
Yeah.
But he would be like, but I'll ask your mom and I'll tell you later.
Uh-huh.
So he still put an effort, you know?
Right.
But
For sure.
once he left that house, I called my mom and I told them he grabbed the last of his things and I bursted it out into tears.
No way.
And I told my mom, I was like, I'm so sad because I didn't give him a chance. And like, and she's like, está bien. And she's like, and he was really like a dad to me.
Yeah.
And she was like, yo lo sé, pero todo va a estar bien.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, luckily, well, they got back together,
Yeah,
you know? So,
clearly,
you know,
yeah.
they got back together and we ended up doing like good after a while. But
Yeah.
like, then that's when you kind of just start realizing like, fuck, he really was my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was, oh my God, girl, I can't remember. I can't go back to this low key because like this is
What?
crazy. So when I was younger, at the time, my mom had a really close friend, and we were close friends with her daughters as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they were kind of like our cousins and stuff. So we kind of like met their cousins, and we were all family kind
Yeah.
of, because we had known them, and my mom grew up with them. When my mom separated with my dad for the first time, she was the first ever roommate that had lived with us.
Oh, okay.
For
So it really was like family.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
was like family. I had met them since I was 5 years old, and at the time I was already 15. So we were friends for a very, very long time. So I would already consider them cousins. So since my mom, we had our apartment, and our garage was actually pretty big at the time. One of my cousins, we'll just call her that, she wanted to have a 15, but you know, since we weren't really that fortunate at the time to like
Throw
wanting
something
to
big.
throw something
Yeah.
big, we were like, fuck it, throw it at the garage. So my mom was like, yeah, throw it at the garage, like it's gonna be good. And my mom rented out a bouncy house, and we were all having a really, really good time. My
Yeah.
mom did give us one rule where we were like, don't bring anyone upstairs. But like, you know, when your mom says that, pues, you know, pues, they're your family. Like, you can bring the people that are really close to you, which was
Right.
my cousins.
Just
which
not
were
like
the,
random
yeah,
people.
not like random
Yeah.
people that were upstairs. So I had brought them upstairs. Mind you, like, we have always vibed with them. But they had an uncle or a cousin, I believe, that was, I can't really say if he was like a cholo or like emo.
He was just up
or
to no
like,
good
He was
type
just
vibe.
up
Yeah.
no good.
Yeah.
And I guess like my cousin, he was flirting with her, not the one that was turning 15,
Okay.
but one that was my age at the time. You know, we were like 16.
Like
you
an
know?
actual cousin?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, she was still like a friend.
Oh.
Like, but she was like my cousin.
Uh-huh.
So she was around my age, and we were all older.
Okay.
And he went up to her like weirdly and
Oh,
started
the
like,
guy who was like up to no good.
yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
okay.
he went up to her and randomly started like being really flirtatious and like weird. And my cousin was pretty good. She was a
Yeah,
baddie, not
yeah.
gonna lie. But he was just being so weird. Like, it just looked like he was on drugs or something. I don't really remember what went on, but all I remember was that he was being super annoying and like really
Like
aggressive with
obnoxious.
her.
Oh,
but
really?
like aggressive with her, like trying to like hug her
Ew.
and like weird shit.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's go to my room, and he followed us. So then
Ew.
we were in my room, and he starts slamming on the door.
Like trying to get in?
Yeah, like slamming on
Ew.
the door.
What the fuck?
So I was like, what the fuck? So we chilled it out, and I was like, you guys stay in here, and I'm gonna go get my stepdad.
Yeah.
Because he stopped slamming the door for a little bit, and I saw him, he was at the hallway, and I went into my mom's room, and I closed the door.
Right.
And luckily, my stepdad was in there. No, I'm sorry, not my stepdad, my mom. My
Okay.
mom was in there.
Okay.
So then I tell him, I was like, oh, he's being so weird. Did you see that he was like knocking on the door? And he's like, no, I just saw him walking off. So I guess my mom was coming upstairs, and she just kind of like noticed him
That he was walking off. Yeah.
like, when he stopped like
Banging on the door.
on the door. So I told my mom, and she's like, okay, I'll tell Lise right now. And my mom walks out, and he's not there. But then I walk out, and
He's right there.
He was right there.
Ew.
And then I literally ran into my room, and he starts doing it again. Dude, I start getting so scared because I didn't know what he was gonna do. Like, why are you being
Right.
aggressive?
Yeah.
Mind you, he's never done that. Like, I've hanged out with them, their family and stuff like that.
He was
He's
probably
never
on
done
drugs,
that.
dude.
He was probably on
yeah.
something.
Or drunk as fuck.
Maybe all I remember was hearing somebody grab him and like yelling, like men like yelling,
Yeah.
like, you know when it's like hombres yelling, like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Hey,
like
hey," you know what I
arguing,
mean?
yeah.
So like they literally grab him, and I open the door and I see him, and they're all like struggling, and my stepdad's all struggling.
So it was your stepdad.
Yeah, like my stepdad and all the guys that were downstairs.
Okay, so there was other men
Yeah,
trying to like
so,
take him
trying to
away.
bring him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they start bringing him down. They start bringing him downstairs and start pushing him and bringing him downstairs. And then I start going downstairs, and I just all I hear was like a scream, like my stepdad. When my stepdad screams, he doesn't scream like ah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
Yeah.
And I thought for a second he like got hit or something, and all I remember was like my like me just standing there, and him going like, And then I start rushing upstairs, and then he's like laying down on the stairs, and I'm like over him, hovering.
Your stepdad.
Yeah, and he's laying down on the floor, but mind you, my stairs was like this, and then like you, and then goes up like
Yeah.
that.
Uh huh.
So I
Like
can
it's
see
cornered.
him. Yeah, so I can see him on the edge, and I'll just hear him scream like, "Gárame servilletas," and you just freak out.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what do I do? So I
Yeah.
just go and grab, like, I literally, like, grab the servilletas like that. I didn't even bring the whole thing. I was just like, and I grab it, run. And then give it to him. And he's, like, trying to cover it. And then he gets, like, white. And then he, like, falls down from, like, the stairs. And then you just seem like my mom, like, being like, ayúdenlo, ayúdenlo. And like, my mom's just like fucking yelling, like, honey, ayúdame, ayúdame, do something, like, call the police, somebody do something. And then like, you're just like, Lisa, are you okay? Like, and like, I'm all fucking screaming. And like, you just see like my stepdad just like knocking out. And then he just like fucking like blinks out, and you just see my mom like, covered in tears and like blood, and like you just don't know what to do at that moment because you're just like, what do I do? Like, I don't remember really much after that. Like, all I remember is just like him being like, oh, I got stabbed, and like
He got stabbed by
yeah,
that guy.
yeah, and he just like started bleeding everywhere, and like, and yeah, after that, the cops came, and I promise you, I didn't even cry. Like, I was just in
Well, you were like,
shock.
what the fuck just happened?
Why? Yeah, I was just like, what did I do?
Uh-huh.
Because the first thing that like I remember was like my mom told me not to bring anybody upstairs.
Yeah.
So what do I do? It's like I blame myself.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, I just didn't feel anything, and I just, yeah, after that it was just like a blank memory, and I just remember the cops being rude to me, and that's it. Now I'm
But he was good,
crying.
obviously, right? Oh,
No,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it's okay. Now me crying.
I mean, dude, that must have been fucking traumatic.
I dude, I still don't even try to process it. This is the second time I've talked about it, but
And what
I just
happened
don't
to
feel
that
like it.
guy or what?
He got arrested, and luckily, you know, bad thing did happen, but good thing something happened out of it was that he got arrested, and
Uh-huh.
that somebody approached my stepdad, and we actually got hit up by a lawyer, and was like, hey, because you got like assaulted by somebody that was a U.S. citizen and in U.S. soil, you actually
Oh,
qualify to get your
shit.
visa U. So if you do get like how if you do get like assaulted or anything here in the United States and you're an immigrant,
It's an automatic, like, grant for
yeah, you
citizenship.
should probably call the cops, and you should probably do a police report and lawyer up and try to get your visa, because yeah, that's how I got my visa U, and I'm currently in process of getting my residency.
Uh-huh.
Which before I actually didn't have a road to residency or even citizenship because I had DACA. So when I had applied for DACA, they actually approved me, but then because I had the visa U, I had to apply for my DACA and my visa at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But because I had a road to citizenship through visa U, DACA denied my application,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, so now I have visa U.
That
So that's
shit's so
good.
crazy, dude.
I know something bad, but something good out of it.
Right, but like that's kind of tripping me out right now because I'm like, dude, are things really meant to happen for like a reason? Do you know what I mean?
I
But
believe
something so
so.
traumatic like that, I'm like, girl, I would never like wish that upon anyone.
Well, I didn't even believe it would happen to me. You know, you don't think about stuff like that. You just, I don't, you know, you see it in movies and stuff like that,
Right,
but
but you
you
never
just,
think it would happen to you.
and you don't know what to do. I promise you, I don't, I'm only crying about it now because, like, I've never had time to actually process it, and to realize that you can actually lose someone that you actually really do care about and never
Right,
see them
right,
ever again. Like you
right.
just kind of start processing that stuff like that's real.
I do want to say though, because there was at least three different times throughout your stories that you were talking about, you said that you blame yourself for like a lot of things, and dude, you can't be like that.
I know.
You can't hold yourself like, I don't know, like I feel like that also like fucks with your mental health. For
Yeah.
real, for real.
I'm learning to not to blame myself anymore.
You
I'm learning
can't.
to be like, "Oh, well, things happen for a reason and it's not my fault." Like
Right, and
it's the
even then, it's
universe
like
fault.
you never thought that that was gonna happen. You never thought that Lise was gonna
Yeah.
get stabbed by
Over me
letting
just
your
letting someone
cousins
go
go
upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
can't be so hard on yourself either. You didn't fucking know, and
I
if you knew,
know.
obviously you wouldn't have done that.
I know. I feel like that's why I'm like such a negative person when it comes to so many things because I blame myself towards it.
Yes.
But I try my best to like be super positive about things, but I I I, I don't know. I really just can't. I try my best and I promise you that I try to hold myself back from being like, all right, well, you can't be talking to yourself like this. You can't be saying these things to yourself because that's not okay, girl. Like, you
Right.
sound crazy. Like, if you really think about it, just me telling you, like, you would be like, well, friend, you can't be blaming yourself. So that just goes to show that I'm like, well, if I say it out loud and somebody else is telling me that I shouldn't be like that, like, because of X, Y, and Z reason, it's because it's like, well, it's true, then you shouldn't be like that.
Right. But I
Like
do.
me myself, it's accepting the fact because you can tell yourself like, oh, I'm, I can't be like that, Danny. But when
When
somebody
you
else
hear from
tells
someone
you,
else, yeah.
you're like, oh shit,
But I
it
do
is
think for
true.
sure, 1,000%, it's not something you're gonna learn on your own 100%
Yeah.
or very quickly 100%. It's gonna be a process, and maybe you should consider going to like therapy again,
No,
like you
yeah.
said, you know?
Yeah, I am going. I'm going back to
It's a
therapy
learning
to just,
process.
yeah, to just kind of like finally forgive and forget. So I can just move on and live a happy life. Like I'm lucky enough to have a partner that supports me with my mental health and
For
takes a lot of
sure.
patience with my mental health and tries to encourage me. And I have a lot of friends that help me out with trying to be better with myself. Just like right now, like I
Yeah.
shouldn't be blaming myself, and like it
No.
takes it takes a lot for a friend to say that because it's
Yeah.
like some people don't say that. Some people are like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Blame yourself. It is maybe your fucking
Bitch.
fault, bitch.
Don't say that.
No,
Hi,
some people
Danny.
can
No, I
say
know.
that. You know
I
what I mean?
know.
I appreciate now when the truth is being told to me because, like, I want to better myself. Like,
Well,
I
and
want to take.
that's the type of people that you wanna have in your life also, dude. You don't want yes men, or you don't want people that are just like being dicks to you, or also just telling you what you want to hear.
I know that there's a lot of things like that I told you today that you
Yeah.
don't know about me,
Yeah.
but like, that's why like when I get upset or anything like that, that's why like it's so hard for me to get out of that negative space
Yeah.
because you when you put yourself in there, you're just kind of stuck for a minute.
Like I said, dude, it's gonna be a like a process, you know? You
Yeah.
can't get from like point A to fucking Z overnight, you know? It's a process for sure.
Yeah.
And especially when you have traumas like that, like, it's I think the number one step is going to therapy, getting through it, and learning new ways to like cope with your emotions.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
feel like now I'm starting to accept little by little who I am and who I want to be
Right.
in order for me to be better.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be like this all the time.
Yeah.
Who wants to be angry at the past all the time?
Well, it's
Nobody.
draining, dude.
It's
It's
really
draining.
draining.
It's
And not only
draining.
that, the past is the past. You're not there anymore.
And you
All
can't do
all
nothing about it.
You're just dwelling on it.
Overall, I did want to go ahead and thank you so much for opening up, not only to me, but to the viewers, because believe it or not, I am more than sure that there's going to be a lot of people that can relate to your story, which I know is going to feel good for a lot of you guys, because I mean, it can be a lonely thing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We all go through different shit, but like,
But sometimes I'm like when I know that other people have gone through it either worse or
Yeah.
something similar.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that they're still there and they're
Yeah.
okay. So like if they're okay, I should be okay. And yeah, maybe that comment could be like, "Oh, I'm okay," but they're not really okay, but you just helped me. So it's just like I don't do it to be like, oh, I hate my dad. Oh, I do it to do it. Because I get a lot of people that say like, oh, you all you do is like talk shit about your dad and like you don't move on and like no 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 no. And it's like it's my story. It's my
Right.
story to tell. I can say it as many times as I want, and as long as I'm comfortable with it, it doesn't matter how many times I say it.
Right.
I say it not so I can throw any hate or like bash or like paint this certain picture of a certain someone. Like all I'm trying to do is spread some type of awareness that like even though I went through depression, like what makes you think that I didn't get out of it?
Right.
I did. So what makes you think you
But it's
can't get
also
out of it?
people that have never even like been through shit like that
Yeah.
before, you know?
Or if you're going through something not as similar, but you're just depressed, like you can
Yeah.
get out of it.
Yeah.
You can get out of it. Like I'm still learning how to be, and I'm 26, Gee. Like it doesn't happen overnight. Like
1,000%.
I still don't know why my parents didn't want to stay together, and I might never know.
Yeah.
So
But I don't think it's your responsibility to ever know that.
exactly.
You know what I
I
mean?
should just move on. I should just move on
And not
just,
even just to move on, but it's just maybe just get to a point where you're healed with it within yourself.
Yeah, where I just forgive it.
And that's
just,
that.
Yeah,
that's that.
it. That's
you know?
for the history books.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to that,
Batty,
queen.
batty, shot o'clock.
Thank you so much for coming on, Danny.
Thank you so much for having me.
Dude, we're all...
I'm a little tipsed now.
Yeah, me too.
My ribs don't do... What did I say?
Right. I'm like, what? You said my ribs don't do...
I don't even remember. Oh! Did you see that? That went down? Yeah.
Low-key, I didn't build it right. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I built the
Now we're on
chairs.
the same level.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so that is pretty much all we have for tonight's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys want to go ahead and give Danny a follow, where can they find you?
You guys can follow me all over social media at
Yeah.
Call Me Danny.
He also has a podcast.
Oh, I also have a podcast, Let's Talk Pendejadas, where we talk
Yes.
all of the pendejadas that we want.
Yes.
And Irma's in it too.
And there was an episode with me maybe like, what, 2 years
A
ago?
long time ago. So she's going to come back soon.
Yeah.
I just need to get a better camera.
Okay, Frank, thank you so much.
Muchas gracias.
But with that being said, you guys, we love you guys so much. And I will see you guys next Sunday at 7 p.m.
Bye.
Peace.